Hi guys, I know I didn't manage to pop out as many videos as I wanted to last week, so I thought I'd pop out a few more. I keep saying pop out, I don't know why. I think it reminds me of a hit TV show, My Life as a Pop Out. Do you guys remember that? My brother used to watch it a little bit, I used to watch it. It was on CITV when I was actually a teenager. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I was about 14, 15, but it was quite good just to get home when you were studying for my GCSEs and put My Life as a Pop Out on. I wonder what they're all doing. Cool people, cool show. Anyway, this video is basically a I don't think it needs a plug, but it's a plug. Go listen to Stone Cold Steve Austin featuring Hulk Hogan. As you guys can probably tell, I'm a huge Hulk Hogan fan. There's Hulk Hogan there, and there's a Hulk Hogan action figure somewhere. And by the way, my action figures I keep in the boxes because in my head they're going to be worth something in the future. And I've had this Hulk Hogan figure since 2002. It's when he was on the cover of WWE magazine. I believe it was just after he faced The Rock. So that's what, 17 years I've had this figure. So hopefully that's worth something. If not, then I've just got a Hulk Hogan figure in the box for ages. But the immortal Hulk Hogan, he was actually the first person whose autobiography I bought. So I've got that somewhere behind me. I have to grab it or have a look for it sometime. But yeah, Hulk Hogan's autobiography, first ever autobiography, not first ever book, first ever autobiography I ever bought. And after that I bought quite a few, like BJ Penns. I've got Jim Ross Slobberknocker, which I need to read. I've got Eric Bischoff, which I need to read. I've got Daniel Bryan, which I've read. I'm a big fan of wrestling autobiographies. It gives you a lot into insight. Obviously it's their own perceptions, and not everything's gonna be 100% accurate, but it's still very interesting. But yeah, I'm a huge Hulk Hogan fan. I know he's had some controversy over the last few years. I think at the end of the day, people say things sometimes. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but some people say things when they think other people aren't listening. A lot of people have said as bad things, if not worse. I'm not going to castigate the man for his whole life. At the end of the day, my stepmom's Jamaican, and she fully forgives him and said that she forgives him and understands. I have my brown male myself, as you can see. I fully understand and accept it. Some people still don't want to. Alright, that's cool. If you want to be a bit strange and have hatred against Hulk Hogan, cool. I don't really understand it, don't really get it, but it's what it is. But back to Hulk Hogan. So go to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think it's on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. You can find it on YouTube. Just put in Stone Cold Steve Austin Hulk Hogan podcast. I've just listened to it, guys. I'm not going to go into it in depth. It's very long. It's 2 hours. But he talks about how his arm was broken, as you already know, when he faced Hiro Matsuda. He talks about Japan. He had some Japanese girlfriends. He talks about his New Japan winning that tournament. So really and rightfully he should be an IWGP title, but they say he's not because of different machinations. And then eventually Antonio Inoki, that is the creator of Inokiism, he actually went on to become the true champion a few years later. I can't remember if he beat Masao Saito or not, but it was just some complex, convoluted situation. But Hulk Hogan should be ratified as the IWGP champion because he did win a tournament for the IWGP title. He also won the IWGP tag team titles before they were known as the IWGP tag team titles with Antonio Inoki. So yeah, people always say Hulk Hogan's wrestling. In Japan, he was allowed to wrestle to his full extent. In WWE, it was made more sense for him to do his, people call it 5 moves of doom, but he had such outworldly and such enigmatic and incredible charisma. They didn't always need it. Like, I got into wrestling in the Attitude Era when I was in early, I don't know what it is, early numbers, like 7 or 8 or 9. I don't know how to make much sense, but yeah, 7, 8 or 9, let's say about 7, 8. And then Hulk Hogan was basically in WCW. WCW wasn't easily accessible where I am in England. There was Channel 5 that came in a bit later, and me and my brother was literally a baby, so but me and my dad, we watched Ray and the Filthy Animals. That was in the year 2000, almost 2001, just before WCW died. So I wasn't really get to see much of Hulk Hogan in NWO particularly. I did see the action figures. The action figures all the time. There was a shop called Woolworths, and in Woolworths and Sainsbury's they always have like a little toy aisle, and in Woolworths it also had NWO, and there's a store called BT's as well. And BT's and Woolworths always used to have NWO action figures. And I do remember seeing the Giant, who became Paul White, who became Big Show, and Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I do remember that. And I do remember seeing Hollywood Hulk Hogan all over adverts and stuff. So I was like, this guy's pretty cool. And then as I got a bit older, I was like, wow, you have memories, don't you? Sorry. You have memories. And I remember Thunder Lips in Rocky 3. And that had a big part of my childhood. I just remember always watching Rocky 3. I love the Rocky films. And I don't know, Hulk Hogan, and he was in Gremlins, and he was in Miss Annie. Do you know what's funny? I actually probably knew Hulk Hogan more of an actor than as a wrestler growing up. He was in Karate Kid. I think it was the Karate Kid. No, it wasn't Karate Kid, it was Three Ninjas. Three Ninjas 3 Showdown at Mega Man him. He was in Suburban Commando. He's in loads and loads of films. I think I even saw an episode of Baywatch, and everyone watched Baywatch in the 90s growing up. So to me, Hulk Hogan was a star, like literally a big worldwide star. I think it's hard for people nowadays who are growing up to realise how big Hulk Hogan was, but he was probably not as big as Rocky's right now, but not far off, and in some ways even bigger because wrestling was mainstream, so Hulk Hogan was even more mainstream. But yeah, like if you're a Hulk Hogan fan, even if you're a hater, or if you're a Hulk Hogan critic, please go listen to it. It's a really, really good podcast. Stone Cold doesn't ask the best questions, but he's affable, and you can tell they've got a bit of camaraderie. They're friends, so it's an open and honest conversation. It flows. Yeah, guys, I don't really ever do this. I listen to loads of podcasts, but I rarely ever listen to one and think, oh yeah, I need to plug that on my YouTube. Obviously, I'm not going to get loads of views anyway, but the people that do views this, if you're interested, please go and listen to Hulk Hogan talking on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast. I'm not a huge fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast in general, find it quite boring. So I'll quickly give recommendations of ones I enjoy. Talk is Jericho, I enjoy that. Wrestling Inc. with Raj Giri, Matt Morgan. I listen to that almost weekly. Well, I do listen to that weekly. Agent Christian's podcast Awesomeness. I listen to that weekly. Occasionally Booker T's Hall of Fame podcast, I listen to that, and 83 Weeks by Eric Bischoff. They're the main ones I listen to all the time. Occasionally Jim Cornette Experience as well, but they're the ones I cycle through. But this episode of Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast is not to be missed with Hulk Hogan. If you're a Hulk Hogan fan like I am, or ever have been, or you're interested in Hulk Hogan, please go listen to it, guys. Like I said, I thought I'd pop out a few more videos because I didn't really do that many last week, so I thought I'd pop out another video for you guys. Hope you enjoy it, and like I said, there's more videos coming this weekend, and there's a big change of, I don't know what the word really would be, I guess scenery. It literally will be a change of scenery on my channel in September, so get ready for that. Cheers guys, thank you.